Hey guys, Logan Manzanares, and I got a question for you today. If you had a step-by-step plan that if all you did was follow it, then you could achieve the body that you've always dreamed of, would you do it? And what if that plan wasn't very disruptive to your life? It was actually pretty easy and meshed with your life and complement your life. Does that sound pretty cool? Yeah. Here's the little secret: is those two things, they can be done. And so what we're going to talk about is really what you need to pay attention to so you can do those two things, and you can really get on the fast track to getting the body that you've always dreamed of. Okay? So the first thing, the number one thing that you have to do is pay attention to your calorie balance. Now, this is not something that I just made up. It's not, it's not new, it's not exciting, but it's what actually works. It's the most important thing, and in a world where everybody is looking for all these small things, the big thing that you can do is pay attention to your calorie balance. Now, what does calorie balance mean specifically? Basically, just how many calories you bring in versus how many calories your body expends or burns, or however you want to talk about it. Okay? So when it comes to calorie balance, you have to understand you're in one of either three different states of calorie balance. Now, let's talk about the calorie state that most people, probably including you, want to probably be in. And that's a calorie deficit, where you're expending or burning or using more calories than you're bringing in, which is causing your body weight to go down, which can be a good thing. The second state is a calorie surplus, which means you're eating more calories than you're expending or you're burning, which can also be a good thing as well. And then the third state, probably the most important state of all, which nobody cares about, is the calorie maintenance, which essentially is saying that you're in perfect calorie balance. You're bringing in just as many calories as you're expending, and your body weight is stable. Now, the reason why calorie maintenance is so important is because whatever your calorie maintenance is will dictate where you should go into a calorie deficit or a calorie surplus at, where you should be starting at. And it just prepares you to be successful when it comes to making big weight cuts, or if you're trying to gain weight, it allows you to do those proficiently as well. But nobody wants to be in those because you're not changing, right? Everyone who's working on their fitness, they want to change. They want to get better, which is great. Everybody does. I want to get better. You want to get better. But understanding your foundation, your starting point, is really what separates you from being successful versus you just spinning your wheels over and over again. Okay? Now, how do you find that calorie balance? It's very simple. You track your calories. You simply track what comes into your body. With all of our clients, we like to use MyFitnessPal. It's very simple. It's easy. It doesn't take a lot of time, and everybody has a smartphone. And if you don't have a smartphone, you have a computer because you're watching this. Okay? So get a MyFitness account and use that. Track your calories. So that's number one. Now, the second thing is you need to pay attention to what makes up those calories. So first step, calories. Second step, what is making up those calories? And so we have three main macronutrients that you probably have heard of before: fats, carbs, and protein, right? But there's a fourth macronutrient that probably has the biggest impact on body composition. Do you know what it is? It's alcohol. Alcohol probably plays the biggest role in body composition, and it's not for the positive. You see, the problem with alcohol is that although it's not necessarily terrible, it's not toxic, it's not really going to kill you unless you do it in excess, which anything will kill you in excess. The problem with alcohol is that you can consume a lot of calories in a short amount of time. And so, those 1 and 2, 3 whiskey and cokes or Bozone Ambers or whatever you like to drink, your glass of wine turns into a bottle of wine. The problem with that is not necessarily the alcohol itself, it's that you can consume so many calories in a short amount of time, which probably is going to put you over your calorie balance and put you into that surplus, which is going to probably put you in a good position to be gaining weight. And it's not the kind of weight that you really want. It's going to be right around your belly, right? Everyone knows someone who's got a beer belly. That's because those excess calories are stored as fat, probably around your midsection. So that's really the real problem with alcohol, is that you can consume so many calories in a short amount of time, and that's really the issue with it. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, your most important macronutrient is going to be protein. Now, why protein is so important is because it is literally the materials, it is the substance that you need for new muscle growth, and it's also the fuel so you can retain the current muscle that you have. So if you are trying to do a weight cut, your most important thing to pay attention to is not necessarily losing fat, but it's keeping muscle and then losing fat. Because if you lose 10, 15, 20 pounds, and let's just hypothetically say that's all muscle, you're still going to be very unhappy with the way your body looks, and you're not going to have much more confidence in your skin, because that skin's going to be meh. It doesn't have any shape to it, doesn't have any lift to it, and that's what muscle really does. So muscle is really, really important. And so focusing on how much protein you bring in is the second thing that you need to do after taking care of your calories. Now, a very simple number to understand and think you can use today, and this, again, there's a little range to this, but it's 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 150 pounds, taking in 150 grams of protein is a great place to be at. There's a little bit of wiggle room in there, but that's a number that you should have in your head, and you should try to get close to that number every single day. That puts you in a position to optimally grow and optimally retain, no matter what calorie state your body is in. So those are the only things you really need to pay attention to. If you're not taking care of those two, let's call it 3 things, then you're not thinking about things properly. That's the truth. So if you want help to implement those 3 principles into your life and learn how to apply them so they're not disruptive, and so you can do them, and so they're not a pain in the neck, then feel free to reach out to us. You can get a free nutrition consultation, and we'll basically just decide if we can help you out or not. So I hope you learned something from this today, and thanks for listening.